The Maxine Unapologetically Authentic.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And we are bringing you live to TikTok today. This is the Maxine Unapologetically Authentic. So today's question is, have you ever interviewed badly? What does it even look like? What does it even sound like? What we mean is, when you're not prepared for an interview, some people say, I'm just going to wing it. The night before, you're not even going over questions. You're not doing research about the company. You're not even preparing yourself for any technical questions, for any conflict of interest questions. You're not familiar with the company, with the brand, what they stand for. That is what I want to cover today. And I hope this will help you for your next interview. And if you're preparing for an interview, this one's for you. So what I've seen, I've been in IT, for those of you that have been watching my podcast for the longest time. I've been on interview panels, whether it was a panel or whether it was one-on-one. I've watched brilliant, mad, talented, skilled, seasoned professionals crash in an interview. Now, it's not because they were not knowledgeable. It was not because they didn't have the skill set. But it's because so many of you get into your heads. And when you start doing that negative self-talk, you're setting yourself up for failure. So before you get into the interview, what's very important and what everybody should take note of, before you get there, there's mental preparation that goes into it. When you are reviewing your questions, and let's take, for example, if you're interviewing for an administrative role, it's not just, it's just one of those roles. No, be attentive, be detail-orientated. Make sure that you're invested in the job that you're applying for. Make sure that you are confident. It starts mentally. Do the prep and the pep talk. The prep is, yes, I'm going to do my research about the company. Yes, I'm going to do my research about the role. But what about you? What about your mindset? Because if you're going in there with a negative mindset that I'm not going to get the job, I'm just going to stay in this interview, why do you even bother? So what I'm here to do is help you, coach you, mentor you for that next interview so that you can go in confidently. When you do go in, and also people, it's of utmost importance, be early. Whether it's a virtual interview, whether it's a face-to-face interview. Not early because I'm just going to ride there, so it's good manners. Yes, it's good manners, but it also prepares you mentally. It calms down your nervous system. Because when you're in an interview, you're calm, you're composed, you're preparing yourself, you talk to yourself. I'm interviewing for an administrative post, or I'm interviewing for a technical role. Whatever the role is, the process is the same. When you get in there, you come in with confidence. You come in with your self-belief. I am confident. I believe in my abilities. I know I've got the skill set. I know I've done a million interviews before, but this one is unique. Why is it unique? This one is unique because it speaks to my capabilities. It speaks to my personality. I have got a positive attitude, and if there's a skill that you don't know, you can learn. Don't always give yourself a check out before you've even checked in. Today we're going to tap in. Talk to yourself as if you got the job, and people go, that doesn't work. It does work. Because if you dress professionally, this is you for the interview. You show up, you are calm. And make sure that your hands, hand gestures, keep your hands on your lap. Or keep your fingers together like this. So when you're twiddling it, twiddle it underneath. Whether it's virtual, whether it's face-to-face, underneath the table. Cross your legs, because sometimes your leg starts to tap. And that can also throw you off course. Keep it composed. That way, and when you straighten out your shoulders and you keep your posture up straight, that exudes confidence. Not only does it add to your posture, but it adds to the way you speak, to the way you're going to answer, to the way you're going to respond, and think. Think before you respond in an interview. And if you need time, pause, a short pause. Pause. And if you're not sure about the question or you're not sure about how you'd like to answer, ask the panel of interviewers or the interviewer. May you please repeat the question? I'm not quite clear so that I could understand politely, not cocky and not arrogant, in a calm, respectful manner. That way you keep yourself composed. The second thing that I've also noted and seen in interviews, people, make sure your background. We don't want to see Auntie Mavis from the spaza shop. We don't want to see somebody calling there in the background. Come answer, I'm busy. Be professional. Make sure if there's people in your household, please be quiet. I just need 30 minutes so that I can get through this interview. This is for me. This is for my future. This is where I want to see myself, and then everybody can go crazy. The other thing is, I've seen many candidates interview and they're sitting in their cars. People. If it means going to the neighbor and borrowing a room that's quiet, do that. It's for your future. It's for yourself. If it means going to sit in a quiet room, whether it's your bedroom, you can sit against the door. Nobody will see. You'll have a nice, clean background. Because backgrounds, it interferes with your concentration. It interferes with the interviewers that's watching, observing you. You owe yourself that much respect when you're sitting in the interview. And the other thing is, if you don't want to attend an interview, if you've changed your mind for whatever reason, or you feel, I'm just not ready to do this interview, politely draft an email, or even some of the HR interview panels, or if you know the manager, politely draft an email saying, unfortunately, I will not be able to attend the interview. May we please reschedule? So many candidates don't show up for an interview. You lost your number one chance to make an impact, your number one chance to be heard, to showcase your skills, and you just blew it. We all get nervous, but you need to learn how to manage yourself, because trust me, 9 out of 10 times, you saw A at organization A. You're going to see A at organization B, and they're going to remember you were that candidate that did not show up for your interview. How do you think that looks already? You might have a brilliant, standout resume, but because you didn't show up, that showed, I have no regard, no respect for you, number one, the interviewer. And I don't care about my time. It doesn't mean anything. You said a lot without saying anything at all. The other thing I've also seen, when there are panel interviews, I see how females shrink. And when I say shrink, you have brilliant skills, you hold qualifications, whether it be technical, whether it be soft skills in communication. But the minute you enter a room and you see the panelists, whether it's men only, it doesn't matter. You need to come in and brand yourself. The way you're going to articulate who you are, what skills you have. And people, always use real examples. Whether it was in the call center, whether it was in retail, customer service, whether it was at a ShopRite, at a Checkers, at a spa, it doesn't matter. It counts. Always use real life examples. How I interacted with a customer. When the customer couldn't find the price tag for a product, I scanned it. How did I find or keep the customer calm? I asked the customer quietly and calmly, ma'am or sir, do you mind waiting so that I can better assist you? Those skills help. They work. When you come into a panel of interviewers as well, it doesn't matter what the gender is. Own your skills. Own your brand. Be proud of yourself when you walk in there. Shoulders back. You're coming in confident. Good morning, smile softly, not to flirt with the panel. No, there's ways. You smile courteously and professionally. Good morning, how are you? I'm well, thank you. Keep eye contact at all times. I've also seen how people come in. Please do not do this. Chat GPT, all those AI tools, they're wonderful. They are the best. Okay? But they do not know you. Number one. So when you're crafting your CV, your resume, there are prompts that you can write out. You can tell them what font to put it in, what framework to put it in, how to align your skills. But you've got to tell these AI tools. Because again, I sat in a panel of interviews. There were candidates that came into an interview that were literally chat GPTing the answers that were being, to the questions that were being asked. Don't do that. You're discrediting yourself. Even if you're brilliant at what you do, don't ever do that. You are hurting your own chance at the job that you could have gotten if you had just been honest and had integrity. Trust yourself. Trust that what I have is good enough. What I know is good enough. What I don't know, I can learn. Because trust me, every single job that gets posted, you're not 100% qualified. If you are 100% qualified for that job, you're undermining yourself and you're underestimating your own skills. Aim higher. And when you do come in, people, be comfortable. I've also seen in my experience as a manager, when I was in corporate, interviewing people, you get so anxious. It's normal. You get anxious, but ground yourself. Like I said, fingers under, or if you have beads, something, just hold it to keep your composure underneath a table so that you know I'm grounded, I'm confident. And also, I've experienced people that don't know how to showcase their skills. Seasoned professionals, young professionals just entering the workplace. If you don't know something, there is no harm in saying, I don't know. However, I am coachable, I am teachable, and I'm willing to learn and build my skill set. That is how we respond. Not, I don't know. I've seen this countless of times. And as much as I looked at the candidate and I wanted to give them a chance, they just weren't coming to the party. I wanted to answer on their behalf half the times when I was sitting in interviews, but I couldn't. I just had to watch a candidate drown while we were busy doing the interviews. So please, I urge you, do it for yourself. Do research. Keep your composure. It starts with your mindset first. Calm yourself and tell yourself, I am the best candidate for this role. Why? Why am I the best candidate for this role? I've got master communication skills because how I handled that difficult customer, whether it was in a Foschini, a Truwords, whether it was at Mug and Bean, whether it was at Checkers, because when they're difficult, we want to know, how do you resolve conflict resolution? I told the customer, you just killed your number one spot, because it shows us that you're not leading with empathy. You're not thinking on your feet. How can I make this a pleasurable experience for the customer? You're not just representing yourself. You're representing a brand. You're representing an organization. You're becoming the voice for, maybe it was Stanley today. And Maxine, as the customer, came in and I encountered Stanley and I got a bad service from Stanley. I'm not going to say it was Stanley. I'm going to say it was Woolworths that gave me a bad experience because of who I interacted with. Now, do we see how that ruins the reputational brand? So think. When I'm going for an interview, I must present myself well. I'm not saying go and buy new clothes, go and buy new shoes. No, neat. neat, be clean, show up, with your authentic self. Research the questions. And if you're not sure, please, I also have to urge you on this one. If you're not sure about something, go and research, go and Google it. Watch YouTube videos. See how to build confidence. Speak to yourself in the mirror. Because if you're broken up here, you're throwing your one shot away at landing your dream job. The one shot. Because trust me, if I interviewed, maybe it was Camilla. I interviewed Camilla and Camilla was brilliant. But maybe there were specific skills that I needed. And I'm going to remember Camilla. And I'm going to put the CV aside because that's what I did. I used to remember those candidates that stood out when they walked me through. You paint a picture for your panel of interviewers. How did you resolve an issue? Or what did you do? Maybe you started training staff. You started training all the newbies that were coming in. Now I took it upon myself and I volunteered my services because I've got X, Y, and Z experience within this field. And I thought, let me upskill, let me educate, not waiting for your manager, not waiting for a specific role, but let me educate my fellow co-workers here so that they can also advance. I'm imparting, I'm sharing my skill. By sharing, you're also learning. You're mastering another skill by imparting your knowledge with others. That's what you're doing. And trust me, that never goes unnoticed. The managers, the leaders, and not just in your team, outside around the organization are watching. I always used to look at how peers interact with one another. Are they helpful? Are they sharing knowledge? Are they taking on tasks for when they see their co-workers are too busy? Are they volunteering? Those stood out. That is what's going to make you stand out for a promotion, to get that next job. Stand out. What kills your career? Even if you want to go and apply for another role, is that's the person that never wants to help. That's the person that always withholds information. That's the person that will give you half information. And you think you're becoming a specialist. No, you just shut down your own career to advance because you were being spiteful, you were being selfish, and you were putting yourself at the back seat because nobody wants to deal with someone that's like that. The other thing is, people, when you're in an interview, I used to love having a panel of interviewers because what does that do? You've got HR, you've got managers, you've got the CEO sometimes, you've got the heads of other departments. You can showcase your skills to everyone at once. And if you didn't land the job, trust me, your CV is not thrown in the trash can. Your CV stays because you were impressionable. Those people, when they have another vacancy, it's going to go, you know what? The person that we interviewed for that role, that's the person that I want. Sometimes you don't even have to interview again because you showcased your skills so beautifully. So I want to reach out to you and tell you, it's not done. You're not done. Sometimes, yes, we do interview badly. You have a day where the Wi-Fi drops. You have a day where you just can't articulate yourself. You have those. Don't discount those days because like I said, I used to be a manager. I used to be a leader in the corporate space. We take note. We are human after all. It's not just about your skills, not just all about your CV, but I used to look at what is happening in this person's life right now. And if your connection was bad, I used to tell you, switch off your video. And I will switch off my video as well. I saw your face, you introduced yourself. I understand life happens. Switch it off. We can continue with voiceover only. Brilliant. It worked brilliantly. It's not an end game when that happens. Also, if you were having one of those days where you got choked up on your emotions, where you have those moments where it feels like your heart is beating so loud, you can't even hear the questions, breathe. And when I say breathe, Not heavy breathing like you're a stalker over the telephone. Not there's a technique you can use. When I say breathe, slowly through your mouth, out through your nose. You didn't hear that. That's how you keep yourself grounded. And if you feel you need to have a sip of water, please don't come sit with these 2-liter 1.5s, because now I used to laugh sometimes because it was hilarious. You're taking this whole 1.5 jug up to your face. People, it's distracting and it's throwing you off your game. We know you need to calm your nerves. Simple glass of water on your desk. That's within your reach. You don't have to go forward. You don't have to go backward. Within your reach, a quick sip. That's a pause technique. You can still continue with the interview. And the best is, if you're struggling to articulate yourself, give us an example. Give the panel a real-time, real-life example. How did you navigate through the difficult situation? How did you save the marketing and communication? How much did you save by picking up a bug? How much did you save, or did you communicate effectively to a stakeholder? Or did you make sure that the customer was helped immediately, even though it wasn't your job? Those real life, real time experiences tells us way, way more when you're sitting and being interviewed on the panel. How you think, if you're taking risks, if you're applying your communication skills, if you are making sure you have the organization's interests at heart, if you are making sure that you've actually used what you've learned. And this I saw multiple times when I used to interview people. You disregard all that hard-earned hours, days, years of studying, and you think that is theory, it's null and void, it's not going to help me now. Apply your knowledge. And I'm not saying go and name drop and say, I have my BSc, I have my PhD. Beautiful. But you're telling the interview panel complete nothing. When you come in there, tell us how you applied your qualification and how your qualification can be used to advance you in this role, how it can be used to utilize or to upskill your peers, how it can be used to make sure that your job runs smoothly. Real life experiences still count. And if you're going to come in there, listen, tell the interview panel, you know you're brilliant. You know you are master in your craft. I don't know that if I'm sitting on the interview panel. I don't know you. Tell me. And that's why I say paint a picture for the interview panel. Tell them, take charge of the interview. Lead. Yes, it's wonderful when the interview panel asks you questions. Brilliant. But create a real life scenario. When I was in customer service, the resolutions went smoothly. How did it go smoothly? I made sure that, there's those leaderboards when you're in a contact center or anywhere that shows how many customers are in the queue. How long did they wait? They never waited longer than a minute to get into my queue. I always made sure I followed up. I made sure I closed the queries. I made sure I left comments. People, sell yourself. Your CV is not only going to work for you. Your CV does this much. You do that much. Be confident, be calm, believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in you, I'm not going to believe in you if I'm sitting on that interview panel. And yes, sometimes our emotions get the best of us. Where you feel, okay, sometimes I'm going to tear up a bit. There's nothing wrong in just going, excuse me. It's just a bit of a moment. We're human on the other side. Well, and I always used to ask, tell me what's going on right now. Let's just have a conversation. Picture your interview panel is someone on the bus or someone on the train or someone in the car. You're talking to your best friend. You're talking to your mom. You're talking to your dad. And when we talk to these people that we love and trust and that support us, we show off. We brag about what we're good at, what we achieved, how we did it. We go into great lengths, into detail. Do that when you get into an interview. Don't hold back. Because when I see the passion, when I see that excitement, when I hear how you're telling me a story, you're painting a picture, half the time through interviews when I sat in the panel, I used to go, you know what, done deal. You don't have to go any further. That's who I want on my team. That's who's getting the job because you just sold yourself. You branded yourself. I saw a logo. I saw a person. I saw mad skills. I saw a good fit for the team. So please don't look like an NPC when you come into those interviews. Also, don't be uncomfortable in your own skin. It starts with the mindset first. Tell yourself, I am capable. I am confident. In that moment, believe it because you are. You're coming in with your bachelor's or you're coming in just with your matric. It's how you market, how you brand yourself that's going to win you that interview. And there was one lovely, lovely lady that told a story. She wanted a specific role. She was a data scientist. She interviewed, first round of interview, she didn't make it. She was bold and brave enough to ask the interview panel, please let me know what were my shortcomings in the interview. What do I need to work on in order to land this role? Because that's what I'm passionate about. That's where I see myself. How long will it take me to get there? It just was a question. And the interviewers helped her. All they said was after the interview, go and do X, Y, and Z courses. And it wasn't even something that she had to go to university for. Simple. It was on Udemy. Some of it was a YouTube video where they had lectures and instructors. She went, she applied, she took her time out. She went in again, second time around. Second time around, she didn't get it. Why second time around? She knew the answer. Her nerves got the best of her. She had all the answers, but she was not confident. She didn't believe in herself this time around. She apologized. She sent a follow-up email and she told the panel, I know I let my nerves get the best of me this time around. Please, can I have another shot when there is a vacancy? She got another shot. Third time around, she got a shot. She went in this time, she did it differently. She did it confidently, consciously, and intentionally. She spoke to herself. She said, I'm Lebo, and I'm applying for a data scientist job because I've put in the work, the time, I've gained the skill set with the feedback that I received the first time in my interview. And now I'm going to show you, she even worked on a little side project with a few other data scientists. She went in, she worked on a project, and she came and she showcased her skills. She got the job. That is what the interview the panelists want to see. How much are you willing to put in to get the job that you want? So your takeaways for today, before I end off, make sure you believe in yourself. Make sure you talk yourself into it, not out of it, into it. Talk yourself into it and tell yourself why you are going to land this job. Thirdly, think. If it means you have to and think about it there at the back, somewhere in your subconscious world, bring back those memories. What was that moment that stood out for you, that made you feel confident in the role that you have now? Bring it back up. Market yourself, align it to the job profile. Number 4, please, I urge you, make sure when you are doing an interview, get a quiet place, get a place where you are not distracted, and you deliver your best. Smile. People, smile. Be your authentic self. Not yourself that you're going to be with your friends, your professional self. When you're saying, this is who I am, this is who I'm rocking up as. You will land that interview. You will get that job. Believe in yourself. do your research, get a quiet background where you're not distracted. So I will leave with that. So that is me today on the Maxine Unapologetically Authentic. I will have the recording available on my YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram channels a little later today. Thank you for tuning in, and I will be bringing you with some more tips. I'll be bringing some more advice. I'll be giving you some more free coaching and mentoring so that you can be the best version of yourself, and we're going to make money together because you're going to land that job. See you later next week, same time, same place. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen.
The Maxine Unapologetically Authentic.